Welcome back to the Vera House podcast, and very Merry Christmas to you from both myself and Perri at Vera House. Today we had a freaking blast on this episode. We talked about all the reindeer, clearly, because we're, well, if you can't see us and you're just listening, we are dressed as reindeer today.
Yes.
And we spoke about the origins of Christmas, all of the origins of the reindeer and what they're known for. And I told a story about Benedict Arnold, which is really interesting, back from the late 1700s where, well, I won't give it away, but it has to do with that time of year around Christmas, winter, the New Year. There was an invasion of Richmond and it involved Benedict Arnold. We tell that story today. And we talked about a bunch of other fun Christmas stuff.
We did. That's a crazy story. I had no idea that went down.
Yeah.
And to that end, we talked about some other facts and moments in time that happened on Christmas in Virginia's history. There's a lot of stuff that has gone on in Virginia and in Richmond that we're starting to uncover as we go further into this podcast. And there were some notable mentions that happened on Christmas over the years. We talked about some of the traditions in other parts of the world for Christmas. And we talked about one of my favorite traditions that involves the opposite of Santa Claus. So stay tuned for that. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And one last thing is tune in because we have a giveaway.
Oh, yeah. Giveaway.
There's a giveaway. So you have a chance to win $100 plus some other things. So tune in and be sure to listen to the episode to get all the details on that.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, dude.
Merry Christmas, Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cupid.
Yeah. No.
Comet.
Combination of Cupid and Comet.
Okay. Let's find out. So here's the reindeer. So Dasher is one of Santa's fastest reindeer. Also a purse maker.
Okay.
For whatever reason. That's what it says.
Even people need purses.
Yep. Vixen is the comedian. Funny one. Also thought to be the only female reindeer for a while, I suppose. Okay. Donner says Rudolph's dad, apparently.
Hey, son.
Apparently the leader amongst the reindeer. So then Dancer, totally extroverted, obviously a dancer.
Yeah.
Comet, easygoing, loves to play games, playful.
Yeah, that's me.
Blitzen is the Dutch word for lightning. Blitzen is fast and playful as well.
Then
we got Prancer. Prancer is a female. She is Dancer's sister. And
okay,
she flies very well.
Dancer, Prancer, that makes sense.
Yep. Cupid is the affectionate reindeer, often carries mistletoe and has a sweet tooth. And Rudolph, portrayed as the handicapped underdog. He is the smallest, but one of the fastest.
Handicapped underdog. That sounds exactly like you.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. I'm definitely handicapped. That's for sure. But I've got my red nose. So
yeah, I'm off duty. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah,
I'm in street clothes.
I like it, dude. Yeah. It's the Christmas spirit. Yeah. I mean, I love this time of year. I know that you do as well.
Yeah, man.
We got our first snow, so that was cool. I know you were pumped about that.
I was pumped. We talked about it beforehand. As soon as it gets cold, I cannot wait for it to snow. And I know a lot of people are either on the fence or don't like it, and those people can move to somewhere as warm all the time. It snows. It's awesome. Deal with it. Hopefully, and from what I've heard, we get more snow this season.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be one of the people that's like, what do they call it, snowbirds, where they move to Florida during the winter?
No, definitely not.
You just tough it out.
I tough it out, man.
Yeah.
That's the best part about Virginia is we get all 4 seasons when they're supposed to happen and in full entirety. We get a full fall and winter. We get a full spring and summer. It's the best. Why would I leave?
I totally agree. I know it seems like a cliche thing to say, but totally agree. Totally on board. And I love it. Yeah, it's like you get the most out of each season of the year, big fan.
And like, come on, who doesn't love a snow day? And I mean a proper snow day. Now, let's be realistic. This is still Richmond and still Virginia. It only takes two physical snowflakes for them to shut down all the schools in the state. But 3, 4, 5 inches, 6 inches, we're talking enough to stop traffic, to not stop traffic, but to slow traffic down enough to where people are choosing to stay at home, would rather not go to work. If they don't have to go into the office, they can stay home and take a day, preferably in the middle of the week, and enjoy the snow. One of my favorite things about when it snows, and it snows that much, is it's very, very quiet. The snow absorbs all the sound in the city, so when you open your door, you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
And that is so cool to me.
It is. I love it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the snow, getting in my truck, 4-wheel drive, cruising through the snow, especially when nobody's out on the roads. Cause it's like, bit of like a snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I want to say maybe 6 years at this point, we had a pretty big snowstorm. And this is part of the magic of Christmas and part of the nostalgia of Christmas, but like more to me, just wintertime in general, which we have very few and far between moments where there's like these little pockets of like cool situations. Big snowstorm came through. I was driving my Jeep Cherokee, 1998 Jeep Cherokee, which is one of my favorite cars, but 4-wheel drive Jeep. And it snowed so much that the day before they closed all the restaurants and businesses and schools in the state because we got 12 to 15 inches, I believe, that weekend.
Jeez.
And over the course of 2 days. So it snowed nonstop for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
It was great. Big fan. But that meant that most people getting around town couldn't really drive their cars. People were getting stuck hour by hour. It was getting worse and worse and worse. Me and a couple friends who had 4-wheel drive vehicles offered to drive people back and forth to the store. If they had to go to work, we drove them to where their jobs were. So we were like snow Ubers.
That's kind of cool.
We're like snoobers.
Yeah.
So we're driving across town and picking people up and taking them to work. And I'm thinking I'm like fully capable. I'm like whipping it around in my Cherokee. But it got so deep that I got stuck. I got stuck out here on Boulevard and I couldn't move my car. And at the time I was working in a restaurant and I had a few friends that lived in the fan and their coworkers that were living in the fan. They invited everyone who lived in the area to their house because they knew no one was working and that no one can get around.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people were in walking distance. So I parked my car, go to their house, and there's like 15 people there. And then every 30, 40 minutes, 2 or 3 more people showed up, having weathered, a quarter-mile walk in the snow.
Yeah.
And it was just like this, hey, you made it. Oh, you're here. And we're all just like bundled up and like, it starts getting windy and it's like the snow is piling up on the window outside and you're locked in and we're playing some drinking games. We're doing beer pong and watching movies and having some food. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had.
Yeah.
And those are, like I said, those are few and far between and takes something like a snow day to really make possible.
It is true. Yeah. It's hard to put your finger on why that feeling happens, but yeah, nothing beats a snow day. I mean, even if you think about even TV shows, especially like sitcoms or even like Seinfeld, How I Met Your Mother, I don't know, I'm drawing blanks. I'm not the movie guy. Yes, exactly. Friends. Like you think about their Christmas episodes that they do, and it always involves like getting snowed in or hanging out at the bar and it's snowing outside of the windows, so maybe it comes from that too, where in real life we feel that we're sort of recreating some of those moments with our friends or with our family. And it's like, really, it just comes from this like nostalgic version of what we've seen growing up, either on TV or in the movies that we love or whatever. That's probably what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely that. Like looking back on it, the nostalgia is because it's familiar and, something that was out of the norm. So maybe even a little sought after.
Yeah.
But when they happen, you're not thinking about this is like a friend's moment. You're like, my car got stuck. My friends are right there. I'm going to go hang out for a little while.
Yeah.
Few hours later, it turns into like one of the best nights that we've ever had. No one planned that this would happen.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of it. You don't plan it. You go there and you're like, I'm going with the flow today. This is happening. It could have very well turned out that my car got stuck and I got a ride home and that was just it. But,
so what year was that? Do you remember?
Oh man. I don't remember, maybe 2015.
Okay.
2014.
Because I remember in like 2009 or 2010, one of those years, I lived in Southside over on Warwick and like by Southside Plaza and all that. and we got a lot of snow. And it was me and my buddy, Cash, and me and him were roommates. And his dad owned 2 snowmobiles. And they literally just sat in the garage because you could never use them. And it finally snowed enough to where we could take the snowmobiles out. And it was so much fun. And it was like, that was one of those days where you go out, nobody's on the roads because you can't drive. Like over a foot of snow or however much it was. And we were just zipping around the city on snowmobiles. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, man.
It was a blast.
I mean, we could go back and forth with stories like that. There's the time that 3 of my friends, we were avid snowboarders at the time. So I had a snowboard and all the gear. We got the gear and there was enough snow on the ground that we were like, can we snowboard down one of the taller hills in downtown?
Yeah.
We don't know, but we're going to try. Packed up the pickup truck, hopped in the back, snowboards to where the governor's mansion is, found one of the hills over there on the street. And our friend pulled us up the hill with ropes and us on the snowboards behind the truck. And like, we just got to the top of the hill. He let us go. We snowboarded in the street down the hill.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so much fun. And that's the thing is like lightning in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
Those moments are so few and far between. You can't recreate them. And if you do, it's never the same.
Yeah.
And we've also but haven't had an opportunity to do that.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people can create some of those moments maybe this week if we do get some snow. There are some markets going on this weekend.
Yeah. I heard about those markets. What's going on? What are the hit list of those markets?
So the hit list all falls on December 21st. Like that's the day. So
Okay.
if you're listening, this weekend on the 21st, there's 5 different markets happening. I'm sure there's other stuff going on, but at Hardywood, they're doing a Christmas market. So that's from 12 to 5 at Hardywood. There's also the Yule Witch Market. So like River City Witch Market. So it's a Yule festival and a market. So that's also 12 to 5. That's at 1407 Sherwood Avenue. There's the Carytown. So right here is the Queer Cheer Holiday Market. That's from 12 to 4 here in Carytown. So that's in the Wells Fargo parking lot across from Fuel Pump. There's the Unkindness Art. So Unkindness is a tattoo shop. That is from 2 to 7. So it's free entry, all ages. There's going to be 25 vendors selling like apparel, jewelry, home decor, all kinds of different stuff. So that's Unkindness Arts Winter Solstice Makers Market. And then there's the Holiday Makers Market with RVA Black Farmers and Artisans. And that one is at Stony Point. And that's from 3 to 7. So yeah, a bunch of cool like markets, so good way to do like some last minute Christmas shopping. Cause you could order something on Amazon, but it's like, you don't know if you're going to get it,
Right. And it's all on that same day. I think that's probably what they're thinking. They're like, we're days away from Christmas. Amazon's not going to get here on time. A lot of the shops may have certain things that you're looking for or need, but you're not going to get these things at those shops or from Amazon before Christmas. So let's just go set up all the markets on the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good opportunity too for those businesses who don't normally do those markets to get out there and do something a little different.
Yeah.
Which I think is
cool. It's cool to support local. And I feel like that's how you get the unique gifts too.
Every time.
Every
time I try to do a little bit of that when I'm doing like my gift giving. Because my family, and I don't know how it is with yours, my family is divided across a couple of different states. So I have my immediate family here. I have some siblings in North Carolina. I have some siblings in Northern Virginia. And we don't usually see each other throughout the year very much. So Christmas is the time where we're all getting together. But it's like, all right, I've got 8 people to potentially get gifts for. Am I getting a gift for everybody? Can't get a gift for everybody. Everybody doesn't get a nice gift. That's just, not made of money these days.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? And also, do I get them like a gift card to Chili's? No, absolutely not.
Right.
My approach to gift giving is I would like to try to get something that's representative of my relationship with the person. Also, something I think they would enjoy and maybe something I think they can use. So I try not to get people things like socks unless they absolutely need socks.
Yeah.
Or if they're like the most badass socks you've ever seen. And maybe that person's really into fashion.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So my favorite place to get gifts in Carytown is Mongrel.
Yeah.
I always go there, even if I'm not sure what I'm going to get. I'll go and see what they have because something usually stands out.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, Mongrel's great.
Yeah.
Especially for like gifts. Yeah, it's a great spot. What do you do for Christmas? Like, do you stick around here? Do you travel? You get on the highway? Do you go somewhere? What do you guys do?
Well, I'm off duty right now. Normally, the gang and I are up in the North Pole gearing up for the big night, as they like to say. But when I'm not doing that, I'm sticking around town. It's rare that I will travel for Christmas, with the exception of last year. Last year, we did something different. Typically, on Christmas, we're all in town. We're all visiting my mom at her place. We'll have the gift giving, gift exchange. We'll have some food, some drinks, cocoa, maybe some cocktails or some wine. And we'll just kind of hang out and spend the day together. Last year, I had the bright idea of circumventing the siblings being in different states and us not getting together for all the holidays and saying, okay, instead of me having to get everybody a gift card to Chili's, why don't we just go on a trip together? So we all went to Puerto Rico for a week instead of doing a traditional Christmas last year.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's very cool. How was it?
It was great. It was our first ever family vacation with everybody in the family. So I have my brother, my sister, my mom, and my stepdad, my stepbrother, my stepsister, and then her partner. And all of us stayed in one Airbnb.
Dang.
Which sounds like a recipe for one of those family vacation movies where everybody ends up hating each other at the end. But it wasn't. It was awesome. And I think we were all a little aware of that potentiality because we love each other, but we're all very different personalities. So we all went into it like, we're just going to have a good time no matter what. And it was chill. We went to the grocery store together. We got a bunch of food. We cooked out. We had a big dinner. We went and did our own things, like me and my sister, her stepbrother, and her boyfriend. And we all went to like an island, and we got a boat out to an island and hung out on this island out there. Me and my brother went and got some seafood in town. Me and my mom and stepdad got like breakfast one day out of the little restaurant. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Like, trying to get them to do it again is very unlikely, but we had a good time.
At least you did it. And it's there for an option in the future,
Yeah, something different, switch it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
So the past several years has pretty much been the same. We go to North Carolina. So like on Christmas, we're here. And my parents live out in Crew in the country, like in the middle of nowhere. And it's fun to just go out there, unplug, disconnect, and do immediate family Christmas.
Yeah.
And we do, I think it's called White Elephant, where, we draw a number and then we have like one person that we get a gift for.
Yeah.
And I like doing that. It's cool. And, we got some nieces and nephews and stuff like that. So we get gifts for all the little kids. And then as far as, siblings and stuff, like we just get one person, and then that way we can just pick out like one nice gift for that person.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Just makes it easy. So like around Thanksgiving, we draw numbers so that way we know who we got. And then when Christmas rolls around, you got your person that you got a gift for, and we just hang out and have a good time. And then in the days following Christmas, I meet with like my extended family, and we go down to North Carolina, hang out for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And I've got some cousins and everybody, and same thing. Like I've got family in North Carolina, family in New York, family here. So we all meet in North Carolina, hang out a couple of days, and then come back home and get ready for the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice, fun. Man. I like that. That's a good way to split it up, change the scenery a little bit, get a little bit of travel in there. It's not that I hate traveling on the holidays. I just never have. I've never had the reason or the opportunity to do so. But also the white elephant thing. We did that a few times over the years. But for some reason, it's always a little bit of a cluster with my family because I think we were all waiting for one person to take charge.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm deciding that we're going to do it this day. Make sure that you get your numbers out and ready, and we'll all draw the numbers, and let's get on a Zoom call and we'll do the number or whatever the thing is. And I think the person that we all assumed was going to do it doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So then it defaults to the next most senior person, and that person is like, what? I didn't know we were even doing this. So it doesn't work. And then people are like getting butthurt about it. So we're just like, no, man, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Just do the normal thing or whatever.
Do the normal thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up doing it because we sort of had like this, as a family, we sort of had this experimental year where Thanksgiving changed, where we started going camping, which I think I've talked to you about this before. And that was kind of like this year where we sort of intentionally chose kind of new traditions. You know, like the overall family was getting a bit smaller, and we just changed it up, you know, because my stepsister had young kids. We just wanted to do something different. So we started camping. So for Thanksgiving, we go camping, and then we kind of created this tradition of like drawing numbers when we were out camping.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a little bit more seamless, and we stick to it now.
That's good. I like that. It's like at this point, we didn't do White Elephant, and we're not going to Puerto Rico. And the question came up a few times is like, so how are we doing gifts? Crickets in the group chat. So we'll find out when we get there who's doing what.
Yep.
That's basically how that's going to go.
Snooze, you lose. You know, you gotta get in there, and you know.
Well, speaking of gifts, I got you something for Christmas.
You did?
I did.
Oh, shucks, dude. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's open some gifts,
Let's
dude.
do it.
I got you something too.
Hell yeah.
If you reach down right next to your chair, there's a bag there.
And right next to yours is a gift present.
Oh, I love it. Right next to our little, this is totally like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree right here.
I have one. Well, I've always wanted a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but I have one that's a little bit bigger than that. It's got lights on it.
Yeah.
And
I saw yours that you set up this year.
It doesn't have like the skirt on the bottom, and it doesn't have any ornaments on it. And it's my favorite thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a Christmas tree set up.
Nice.
It's very me.
Yeah.
You know,
is it black?
It's not black, but it has, because I've had it forever. And my house, like, it's not that my house is super small, but as far as like placement of where to put a Christmas tree, it was quite difficult for a long time. So I have a tall tree, but it's quite like thin. It's like because it had to fit like in one particular place.
Yeah.
So it's like this skinny tree, and it has just regular colored lights on it, but it's got a bunch of like I have like rune like ornaments and stuff, and like so it's got a wooden star on the top of it, like
very
it's very weird,
very Nordic.
Yes exactly, it's very that's a good way to describe it.
I like it.
All right, should we just open these on 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, let's get in there.
Let's do it, man. So we went 2 different routes. I got you like a handful of small things.
Okay. I got you just one thing.
And I can see that it's a book. And I love books. So for anybody who doesn't know me,
I know
my house is covered in books.
Avid reader.
Yes.
And oh, dude, this is a great little gift set. Look at this.
Dude, I love this, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. This is awesome. Let's see. Let's get everything out here. Little candles.
So we'll describe what we're opening for anybody listening on audio. So I just opened a wonderful gift from Perri. It's a book called Stone Circles, a Field Guide. Essential reading for anyone interested in prehistory.
So that really struck a chord with me because I've, over the course of this podcast and, you know, getting to know you better, you being a huge history buff, you really liking Nordic and Irish, Gaelic, or
just
Welsh ancient history.
Yeah.
This is a combination of all of those things. But specifically, that book is a field guide for anyone interested in learning about the stone circles.
That's
so
cool.
think Stonehenge, and everyone's familiar with Stonehenge. However, there are hundreds of stone circles, and this book covers all of them within the island of Ireland and Wales.
Whoa.
And it's a guide on how to find them, what they're about, and all the good stuff.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's end the podcast early so I can read this.
Yes. And I figured you'll get inspired, and then one day I'll find out that you're off on a plane to North Wales to find the stone circles.
Well, I will say, like, Ireland and that area of the world is literally at the top of my list. For a long time, it was Zanzibar, and now I can say I've been to Zanzibar, which is crazy. But next up is like definitely Ireland, Greenland, Iceland, Wales. Like Ireland, I've never been, unfortunately, but it's like one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely very excited to go. And I would definitely pack this book and bring it with me.
Hell yeah.
So I got you a handful of things.
Yeah. What do we have over here?
So I got one of those tea mugs for myself.
Okay.
Well, first I got it for you, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm getting one for me too."
It's got the infuser in it.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
So, and I used it last night, and I was like, "Damn, this thing is sweet." So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's a built-in like tea infuser mug.
This is great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think you'll really like it. I know you're a tea guy, and
big tea guy.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's great.
Dude, this is perfect. Thank you.
So that way you can do loose leaf or just a regular tea bag as well. You can do either one. And then got you a little book. Good vibes, good life. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, man.
But that's written by this guy. His name is Vex King, and he's just sort of like he's a writer, but he's like a short form writer is what I call them, like sort of a social media writer, which, some people hate on it, but I like it, being able to take
social media writer.
Well, I think like people that are able to take writing and
just condense it.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think like being able to convey an idea in a concise format is a talent.
I agree.
And he does a good job of it. Another good example is Brianna Weist, I think is how you pronounce her name. Like she wrote the book 101 Ways to think. I don't freaking know. She's got a bunch of these. I have it. It's in man, why can't I think of what it's called? But anyway, I have that at my house. So I got that.
This is dope, man.
Yeah. And then I got you an air tag.
I see that. So I've always wanted to buy one of these, but I never think about like actually buying one.
So that's literally why I bought it. Cause I feel like same, like I'm on the same page. Right. And, as we've gone on this podcast journey together, and I've seen you invest in yourself and in your equipment and all that stuff, I'm always reminded of this story that you told me about somebody stealing all your DJ stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I figured that would just be a cool thing to have, to either put in your DJ box or in your camera gear or something.
Yeah.
And you can just hide it in there, and that way you always know where your stuff is.
This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
Again, it's very low, almost at the bottom of the list of things that I wanted to get for the gear, for a computer or for my bag full of things for the production studio. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then, a couple little candles. Yeah. But, cause you can't go wrong with that.
Oh, that smells delicious.
Two different vibes.
Oh yeah. It's great.
But yeah, man, dude, I'm pumped about this. Thank you.
Yes. It made me think about books like that, stories like that. One, it's factual and it kind of gives you maybe some background and some history on parts of the world that you don't already know about.
Yeah.
But then also things like that are inspirational for me. Like they give me I'm a big visual person and I have a big imagination, but it gives the imagination the fuel that it needs to become a reality. So stuff like that would be a reason for me to like shirk all of my plans for the second half of 2026 and be like, I'm just going to go spelunking in Ireland. Like I read this book one year and I've been thinking about it ever since.
Dude. Well, you'll have to come with because we'll have to still be able to record the podcast.
Yeah, we're definitely
unless you're going to give me a month off work, No,
we're definitely doing a limited series of episodes.
Yeah.
While we hunt the stone circles.
Sign me up, man. Very cool. I love a good field guide too. I have a book called How to Survive in the Woods, or something like that. Yeah. And it's also a field guide, which is like very cool.
Yeah. It's informational, but it's useful. And like I said earlier, I always like to try and get gifts for people that are useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Yes, and, likewise.
For anybody listening, we have not left you out. We have a gift for them as well.
Oh yeah, we do.
We do. And it's from our sponsor, Point 5. The catch is though, they have to pay attention today. You got to act ASAP on this. All right. Yeah. So don't dilly-dally.
Don't loaf, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. So this is our Christmas special episode. Perri and I have actually been talking about doing this episode since like the moment we got in this building.
100%.
I was like, dude, I can't wait till the Christmas episode. And here we are.
Here we are.
And this episode is sponsored by Point 5, Richmond's first non-alcoholic beverage shop right here in Carytown. They have non-alcoholic beers, wines, functional spirits, along with nootropic and plant-based drinks built for focus, mood, and energy. They also offer a range of gluten-free and dairy-free options for different dietary needs. Now, with the holidays here, Point 5 is the perfect place to pick up some stocking stuffers, gift cards especially, and thoughtful presents for people who are sober or sober curious, all the wonderful people in your life. Point 5 is a great place. And if you're listening to this on the day of this episode release, which is December 19th, Point 5 is running a special holiday giveaway today only. So you have to enter this by the end of today. They are giving away two $50 gift cards, so $100 in gift cards for you and a friend. They're giving away class passes to their upcoming mixology workshop and a complimentary bottle gift. So the giveaway closes tonight. So go enter right now on Point 5's Instagram. So it's at Point 5 RVA on Instagram, and they're going to be announcing the winner tomorrow. So be sure to do that while you're listening to this episode. Now, just in case you're listening to this after the 19th, don't worry. You can still visit verahouse.co/point5 for 10% off your next purchase at their shop right here in Carytown. That's verahouse.co/POINT and the number 5. And just screenshot the voucher and use it on your next visit for 10% off your purchase. So
yeah, get in there. Get those gift cards, because we've said this before when we talk about Point 5, that it is a great place to get a gift for somebody that you may not know what kind of gift to get them. It's also the one place you can go to get that person a gift that you know maybe just stopped drinking or is experimenting with being sober or is sober curious or wants to try the nootropic drinks. Like, this is the place and the time to go and get that stuff.
Yeah. And you're supporting great people like Jody, Lewis. They're just amazing people. They've supported this show since the beginning.
Yep.
And it's been wonderful to have them as a part of it. And all of the beverages that you ever see on this show are supplied by Point 5. So be sure to support them, take advantage of the giveaway, take advantage of the 10% off coupon. And I've been waiting to open this since we started.
That's my
since we
favorite.
click record.
That's one of my favorites.
It's a great one. So this is 1911 rosé, alcohol removed, premium small batch cider.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, cheers.
Cheers.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man.
And I've got a Blind Tiger Grapefruit Fizz, a Paloma-inspired blend of ruby grapefruit, lime, tequila-style sparkle.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
it.
those.
Already smells good. Yeah.
The little Blind Tiger ones, like those are great.
Mm. Whoa.
Money.
Whoa. Like, I'm not hamming this up for the show. This is amazing. Do you want to try it?
Yes. You've had this one, right?
Yeah, but I like a crispy cider.
So what is this? Oh, yeah. So I literally think we did opposite of this last time. Like, I think I had this one and you had the other one.
You had a Greyhound last time. This is like a Paloma.
Oh, that's right. So similar but different.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
That's
money.
what I actually had one of those at Goldwing. So they have these at Goldwing at the bar. It's just clean and crispy. It's the best.
Big fan. I almost forgot I was wearing this reindeer costume until I looked up at the monitor. Yeah. I also got a haircut today.
Oh yeah, it was Instagram approved haircut.
Yeah, the mullet is gone, man.
There you go.
The mullet is gone.
It had its time. It had its served its purpose.
It did. It will. I don't know if it'll be missed. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
so.
There's some mullet fans out there.
Yeah, but I will say I'm definitely going to be wearing this like for the rest of December.
Do it.
Why not?
You look really cozy.
I am.
I went the other route, which is as little effort as possible.
Yeah.
We were like, let's get Christmas costumes. I said, okay, what's the easiest thing to get? Off-duty reindeer.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. This is not effort, not effort inducive.
Yeah.
Like Halloween, that was a bit of an effort.
That was a fun one though.
Yeah.
It
was definitely fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now there's no turning back, right? We got to celebrate all the fun holidays.
Yeah, man. Like, and I guess we have to take a pick because I think there's a few coming up in the next 6 months. Yeah. So we'll have to be, not choosy, but we'll pick ones that we think we can honor appropriately. And then we'll just go nuts with the costume.
National Pizza Day is the one I'm looking forward to most.
Yes. Zorch, if you're listening, sponsor us for National Pizza Day. Let's make it a thing.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can easily house an entire pizza. It's no problem.
I don't know whether it's like a psychological thing that you've said that to me enough times, but in the last six weeks, I've had 3 whole pizzas because I didn't eat pizza like that, but since hanging out with you, I'm like, if Myke can eat a whole pizza, I can eat a whole pizza.
Dude, that is the best news I've heard all year. And I'm glad that I've been a small source of inspiration for you to achieve such an accomplishment.
Delicious influence on me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Dude, the Christmas spirit.
The Christmas spirit. And as we were getting ready for this episode, I wanted to do a deeper dive into like Virginia
Mhm.
and the history of Christmas in Virginia, because I didn't really know. Growing up here, we would do things that my family would do. So we go to church on Christmas. We don't go to church anymore because church is boring. It's fine. It's not my favorite place to be on Christmas. So we don't go to church on Christmas. But the Grand Illumination, for example, that was a big deal. We'd go downtown. We'd see the James Center lit up with the reindeer that always looked strangely posed.
Mhm.
And the big tree would get lit up. And recently, I've just been thinking about traditions. Why do we do the gift giving? Why do we worship the trees? That's always been interesting to me, and I think you kind of agree. History and culture is just inherently fascinating.
For sure.
So I did a little digging, and I wanted to find some Virginia history about Christmas, and then some history and some specific rituals or cultures that other cultures or other parts of the world do on Christmas. So a couple of facts about Virginia's history and Christmas that are a little interesting.
Dude, let's dive in. I'm curious to see our difference in perspectives on some of the history stuff.
Yeah. So this is just a short list. Christmas celebrations were banned in Virginia during the 1960s due to their association with Catholicism. It wasn't until the 1800s that the holiday became widely celebrated in Virginia.
Whoa. So wait, it was banned when?
During the 1600s.
Oh, 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you're the history buff, so I don't really know what was going on back then.
Yeah. Interesting.
It says banned due to their association with Catholicism, but what would have been the spark for Christmas being banned in Virginia?
Well, so this is my perspective. Like Christmas is an adaptation of a pagan holiday called Yule.
Yes.
And Yule is the celebration of the winter solstice, right? So like when Christmas would come around, way before Christianity, essentially you're paying attention to the seasons, you're harvesting your crop, you're doing all those things. And this is where all of our holidays come from. Like Thanksgiving, like a lot of these things come from pagan holidays. And Catholicism and Christianity adapted those because they didn't want people believing in paganism, right? They didn't want them believing in multiple gods. They wanted to consolidate the story for political power and gain and control over society, basically. Mm-hmm. Religion has almost always been used in that way. But the pagan holiday itself is where like the Christmas tree idea comes from, like the evergreen tree and many of these things come from. So I don't know how that would relate to like Virginia specifically, like the East Coast of America. Yeah. I don't know a lot of the evidence around this because it was so long ago. There's this whole story about Christopher Columbus discovering America. I think for sure that we do know as a fact that that's not true. Like America was, colonized prior to that in different ways, right? Like obviously Native Americans were here, the indigenous tribes were here, but there's also a lot of indication that Vikings made it to America prior. Yeah. Now that would have been like 1300s or 1400s. Mm-hmm. But if that were the case, and even if you think of Indian tribes and stuff, like they weren't Christians, they absolutely had like tribal beliefs and very like elevated spiritual beliefs. They smoked tobacco and ate mushrooms and entered the spiritual realm and had their own thing going on. So I would imagine like in early settlements in America, they're coming in here with this new belief that comes from Europe called Christianity. And it was probably very frowned upon. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess. Yeah. Like big picture, 10,000 foot overview. That would be my first inkling of maybe what was going on at that time.
That's a solid stab. I think you can do better next time, but I think you will.
After I read this book, I'll have more.
There you go. Another little factoid. On December 25th, 1982, the Virginia General Assembly officially recognized Jamestown as the first permanent English settlement in America. The resolution declared 25th of December as Jamestown Day.
Really? And what year was that?
That was 1982.
Wow.
Which is not that long ago.
Yeah.
It's a couple years before I was born. And I had no idea that was a thing. So December 25th in 1982 was officially Virginia, or Jamestown was the first permanent English settlement. It was when it was recognized.
Yeah.
So kind of cool. There's like a bit about snowfall 2010, snow fell across much of Virginia on Christmas Day, marking the first white Christmas in the state in over 10 years. Some areas even experienced up to 18 inches of snowfall, causing travel disruptions. I think I remember that.
So that was 2010?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the year of the snowmobiles.
That's the year.
Yeah.
There it is.
Because I remember it was crazy. Like, I mean, to be able to ride a snowmobile, you need a lot of snow.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was the year. No. It's hard to say when the year that I got stuck in the snow, but maybe it was 2010. Know what I mean? There's no way to tell at this point.
I know. Time flies. Man.
Yeah. And then the last one is Virginia-born George Washington famously crossed the Delaware River on Christmas Day in 1776, leading a surprise attack on Hessian soldiers during the Revolutionary War. The bold move helped turn the tide of the war in favor of the American colonists.
Whoa. Did you know that George Washington didn't have any grandchildren?
It's a great segue.
Yeah, he had no grandchildren.
I didn't know that.
For especially back then when like bloodlines and like,
right.
and all that stuff is really important. It's very strange that he didn't go out of his way to have children.
I didn't know that. But so those are some factoids about the history of Christmas in Virginia. But there's one particular worldwide factoid or cultural celebration of Christmas that I really, really liked. It fascinated me over the years. Have you heard of Krampus?
Yes, but I can't say that I know that I have much context around it.
So Krampus is a Central European figure in folklore surrounding Christmas, who is the evil antithesis to St. Nicholas, to Santa Claus. And to paraphrase Wikipedia, on Krampus Nacht, which is December 5th, after St. Nicholas dinner, I think this is the day before that or day after that, when Santa Claus is supposed to come and give the good children gifts, Krampus comes to punish the bad children. Krampus, and I'll show you a picture of him in a second. Krampus is a cloven-hooved, 10-foot, 15-foot tall, horned, devil-looking creature with chains and claws. And he comes down the chimney, he breaks your chimney as he's coming down, and he creeps into your room and he punishes bad children. And I find that absolutely fascinating.
Whoa.
Yes.
Did you know fireplaces are fake?
No. Okay. No, I didn't know that.
So this is a rabbit hole that I've yet to dive down, but I find it really interesting.
Okay.
So especially really big homes that were considered to be mansions, like in the 1800s, many of them like never had firewood or any sort of evidence that they were ever used the way that a traditional fireplace is used today, where it's a wood burning fireplace. Many of them had like copper and brass, like almost antennas in front of them. And the theory is that they actually were able to harness electricity from like the ionosphere. And that's what the chimney was for. Now, again, I don't know, but I find it really interesting.
Hits the blunt one time.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's for the kids. We don't imbibe.
Nicholas Tesla would be proud.
I think his name is Nikola, but
I'm typing St. Nicholas into my iPad. So that's for the record, I do know that it's Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
but I'm typing St. Nicholas ancient Rome into my iPad because it's been a while since I've read the story of St. Nick.
Yeah.
But do you know this story of like who St. Nicholas actually was?
I don't. I'm looking on Wikipedia of, in-depth look at Krampus, but I don't know the story of St. Nicholas. I think I've been curious about the origins of Christmas for a while, and the origins of figures like Santa Claus and Krampus are pretty fascinating. But I know that they predate lots of religious folklore as it stands. I mean, even Wikipedia says that the origin of the figure is unclear. Some folklorists and anthropologists have postulated that it may have pre-Christian origins, although historians generally consider this unlikely, as it's not attested until the 16th century.
And when you say Krampus, I can imagine like what it looks like because I have seen him before. And to me, that feels very like pagan. It's a very pagan type vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story of Santa, or one of the stories of Santa, is the story around Sinterklaas, which was the so basically it's the story of Saint Nicholas, where he was a 4th century bishop, and his daughter was a very poor man, and he had 3 daughters. And the neighbor, being a bishop, around this time of year, he was sneaking bags of coins into his neighbor's home. And he was doing this anonymously because he could hear the conversations happening in his neighbor's home. And as the days went on, he was realizing that the father was not spending the money on himself and the household. He was just spending it on his daughters, like buying the daughters, a dress and things like this. And then the other daughters felt jealous, and he told them, look, I don't have enough right now, but I'll get one for you when I can. So then, like, over the course of 3 or 4 nights, he would come back and give more bags of coins and stuff. And then eventually his identity became known, and that was St. Nicholas. Now, I think there's a lot of different stories around St. Nick, but that's one of them.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But for reference, this is a picture of Krampus.
Yeah.
Looks like the devil.
Sure does.
Yeah. Cloven hooves, long horns, crazy eyes, claws, a tail.
It's cool. I like it.
And he's tormenting these bad kids.
Yeah.
So it flies completely in the face of everything that I was told when I was a kid, is that if you were a bad kid, or you didn't finish your food, you didn't eat your peas or your green veggies, then you're going to get a lump of coal in your stocking.
Yeah.
This is way worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I love that. They even made a movie about it. And me being the movie buff, of course, I saw it. It was hilarious, but I actually think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
The movie does a really good job of highlighting typical holiday spirited movie tropes and amplifying them. So all the characters in the movie are amplified versions of every character in every Hollywood Christmas movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
The busy workaholic father figure who has a daughter or a son who is neglected, the mother who is overworked and always stressed out, the mom who's overbearing and like loves her daughter but is also kind of jealous, so there's animosity there, and then the weird crazy from ancient Europe grandmother who drops secret hints at the looming doom in the future.
Yeah.
And it's both a comedy and a horror movie. It's one of the best film adaptations of something like this that I've seen.
I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah.
Always been a big fan of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, love
Tim
that
Burton.
movie. Yeah, man, it's a classic.
So great. I love that one. Let me see.
You got to think about The Grinch, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That's a good classic movie. And then I don't know why it took me so long. We were talking earlier, you talked about Elf, the Will Ferrell Elf movie.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's so great.
And I don't think I'd seen it until like 2015. Or when did it come out?
Really?
Yeah.
Probably before that.
Yeah.
It's been around a while.
It took me forever to see it, but I was like, why did it take me so long to watch this? It's the best.
Fan favorite for sure. Yeah. So this story that I told was, surrounding the 4th century bishop, St. Nicholas of Myra.
Mm.
The story is recounted in the Golden Legend, a compilation of medieval stories about many early saints of the Catholic Church. He was the first secret Santa.
That's funny.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Saint Nick. I mean, I like I said, I love culture and I love history, and I'm like learning about the origins or the lineage of some of the traditions. And as I get older and a little bit more cynical, I'm always a little bit more like curious, but not as to like, oh, what's the history behind all this? It's like, well, why are we still doing this?
Yeah.
What's the importance of it, or what's the validity of it? But things like the tree in the house, why a tree? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the just tradition that gets perpetuated. But beyond that, there is still the tradition of being together with your family and friends, giving gifts, showing appreciation, sharing meals, breaking bread. Those are things that I think will be, consistent for forever, because that's just a very human and a very, at least in America, a very cultural part of our society.
Yeah. So the Yule root of why the evergreen tree was used is because they symbolize life, rebirth, and hope for spring during the darkest winter days. Also, they're trees that survive perfectly fine during winter, right? Whereas most other foliage, flowers, plants, and stuff die. But I know that's part of it. And I guess, they smell nice and all that.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos where people take the pine needles and turn them into soda, like Sprite?
What?
Yeah.
No.
So they literally take a collection of pine needles and put them in spring water and seal it shut. And and I think they put a little bit of sugar in the water. And then over the course of a week, it ferments and turns into a fizzy Sprite evergreen pine soda.
What?
And it tastes like Sprite.
Is it good for you?
I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure it is, but
I'm going to take one of these home.
It's natural. Give it a shot, I'll do it.
You give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Let me know how it goes.
And if I don't show up for the New Year's episode, you'll know that it didn't go very well.
Yeah, exactly. Be the guinea pig.
Yeah. So earlier you mentioned this story, I think it was the George Washington story, and you mentioned the Revolutionary War, right? So do you know the story of Benedict Arnold? Or do you know anything around him?
No.
Okay.
I know the name.
Benedict Arnold was known as one of America's greatest traitors because he was a war hero early on prior to the Revolutionary War. He was a military leader and had accomplished a lot. And then during the Revolutionary War, he fought for the Continental Army and literally stabbed them in the back, and then ended up literally switching sides to the British and fighting against America. And he raided Richmond and set this whole place on fire.
Whoa.
So here's the story. It's January 1781. Richmond is still young, newly crowned as Virginia's capital. Virginia was one of the main states supplying the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. The war for independence is raging, but here in Richmond, people are just trying to survive another winter. Then one morning, British sails appear on the horizon of the James River. And at the front of those ships stands a man that the whole country once trusted, Benedict Arnold. Now, mainstream academia tells us that Arnold was a general who switched sides because he felt underpaid, underappreciated, and overlooked. But Arnold wasn't just any soldier. He was highly educated and conspicuously connected for a man born in small New England town. It is rumored that his mother's family carried traces of old European nobility to a lesser bloodline who once served the House of Stuart long before America dreamed of its independence from Britain. He betrayed his homeland due to a mix of personal grievances, massive financial debt, resentment, and feeling unappreciated by American Congress over his heroic military accomplishments for the country. His own bloodline, his marriage to loyalist Peggy Shippen, who was connected to British spies further, pushed him towards seeking reward and recognition from the British by offering to surrender West Point, which was a strategic plateau on the west bank of the Hudson River in New York. After which Arnold returned to Virginia, leading the British troops, and the rumor was that he's serving the old order. He embarked on a devastating raid along the James River. At the time, Virginia Governor Thomas Jefferson frantically tried to protect the state's resources and prepared to wage war in return. That morning in January, the people of Richmond watched as Benedict marched his troops straight up the hill where the Chimborazo Medical Museum stands today. The American militia tried to hold the line, but they were pushed back. Arnold's forces occupied the capital for 24 hours, just long enough to set the city on fire, raid the buildings, burn military supplies, and ultimately send a message that Britain was not letting go. Arnold didn't vanish in the night or go down swinging. After burning Richmond's supplies, he simply marched his troops back to the James River, boarded the British ships waiting for him, and sailed away. Richmond barely had time to understand what happened before he was gone. Before the year was over, many of the troops who marched behind Benedict into Richmond ultimately ended up surrendering at Yorktown. Benedict Arnold escaped, lived the rest of his life in exile, and died in relative obscurity. Arnold tried several business ventures, but none were successful. He was disliked in both America and Britain. He died poor and dishonored in London in 1801 at age 60, and in the end, he was remembered only for his betrayal.
Dang.
And that's Benedict Arnold.
What a scrub.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get that right.
He couldn't. Well, the thing is, like, he turned his back on the American military.
Yeah.
And although it helped the British, of course, once that was over, they were like, yeah, dude, we don't trust you. Like, why would we trust you?
Like, what do you think? You're a double time and backstabber.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. But he literally sailed to Richmond on British ships and set Chimborazo on fire.
Man. I wonder what it must be like to be that bold or to be that delusional.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a really good idea. No one else is going to join me. I'm going to recruit anybody who will listen to me, and then I'm going to go and take over the entirety of Virginia, starting with Churchill.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think, like, this is, 250 years ago, 300 years ago. Like, it's crazy to even, like, imagine. But he was born in New England, so Northeast, America.
Right.
And he had British heritage. I mean, we all do, but, like, he had British heritage.
Yeah.
Or all white Europeans for the most part do. And growing up, I guess being a young man in the American military, he felt like he was disrespected or something. And then you put these other little dots together and, and people know a lot more about this topic than I do. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting story because, like, Benedict Arnold, as you can tell, it's not like he's a super famous name, but people know him for being a traitor. Like, that's what he's known as.
Yeah.
And it's funny that story involves Richmond.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I've heard the name before. I didn't really have any, insight into the history of who he was, what he did. And, every time we start to look into the Richmond history, whether it's for Christmas or for just, other episodes when, we're looking for interesting topics, there is so much history here. Virginia as a whole has a ton of history because it is essentially the beginning of the separation from the British Empire. It's the beginning of the United States is ground zero for a lot of that. But these little bits and pieces that make up the whole are kind of fascinating in themselves. Like, the stories are big. The intentions on both sides are usually bigger, grander than the act themselves. And they have so much far-reaching impact, like that we're still talking about them today.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not a history buff, but I'm beginning to understand why it's such an interesting topic.
Yeah. I mean, dude, history holds the keys of everything.
Yeah.
Like, nothing new under the sun. There's a reason that's a phrase.
I hope there's something new under my tree later.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Mom, can I get a PS5?
Do you have a video game console?
I don't play video games.
I mean, I don't either, but I have one.
No, I don't have one.
Yeah. I mean, probably
I can watch DVDs on it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
I can watch Blu-rays on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing to have.
Honestly, the stocking stuffers have been my favorite over the years. Like, I love getting the big gifts. When I was a kid, I would always, and my mom tells this story all the time, I would always be the first one out of me and my brother and sisters to wake up in anticipation for Christmas. I was hell-bent on being the first person awake. I couldn't sleep more than 30 minutes at a time because I was so, like, anxious and excited. And I would be the first person up the next morning. And I still remember the illusion of Santa Claus. I remember being completely convinced that he's coming and he's going to take a bite of a cookie and he's going to drink some of the milk that we leave out for him because the milk is for the reindeer, and he's going to leave the gifts. So I would go to bed late, early, whatever. I'd go to bed, and like an hour later or whenever I realistically woke up, I'd pop my head out. Oh, there's no gifts out there. Okay, go back to sleep for a little bit. All right, pop my head out. No gifts out there. Pop my head out. Man, where is he?
Damn, like, giving your parents a tough job.
Seriously. Huh? And like, I would go to sleep and I'd wake up, pop my head out. Tree is full of gifts. Cookies bitten, milk's gone. And I was like, oh, he came. He actually came. This is bananas. And then it was still too early to wake up.
Yeah.
The sun's still down.
You gotta wait.
I had to wait for, whatever.
Oh, it's the worst.
Go back to bed, wake up, run downstairs, run into the living room or whatever. Like, yeah, Christmas morning. But it wasn't until years later, obviously, I realized that Mom was Santa. And she would tell us every now and then. She's really good at holding the good stories and just doling them out over the years. So every year we get like another version of Christmas or another version of a story. But she would she would hide the gifts, and we would figured it out that it was her. So we would scour the house, like under every mattress, under the bed, and every nook and cranny, and try and find the gifts. Never found gifts until one year. We found one gift, and we like ripped open a corner to see what it was. It was a big box. We ripped open the corner to see what was in the box. Shook it up, like, what's in it? You know what's in it? Do you think you figured out? Me and my brother and sister would do that while she was at work. She found that gift. She hid it. We didn't find anything else. And then same thing, you know, one night, you go to bed before on Christmas Eve, you wake up, all the gifts are there. Later, we found out that she put all the gifts in the trunk of her car. And just kept them in the trunk of the car. And when we all went to sleep, she would take them all out and put them all under the tree.
Yeah. I was literally thinking that when you said that story, I was like, man, they must have like had to get them all prepped and ready and just put them all in a wheelbarrow and just hurry up and run out there and dump them all so that you didn't see.
Yeah, man. It was, the illusion was strong. She was real slick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Christmas where you remember like getting like a favorite gift or something or one that like really stands out?
Yes, I have a few. But one that really stands out, I got the first ever Nintendo video game console as a gift on Christmas. And that same year, I got a remote control Lamborghini Diablo. I love cars. This thing was one of those giant, like it was this big. And if you remember Radio Shack, they had these cars, you know, on display there. And it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it. I played Nintendo for 3 hours or something like that. I played it nonstop for hours. That's all I did that day. And then eventually I got around to playing with a remote control car. And I get the batteries for it, I get the remote for it, and I'm driving it around in the house. And it was fast. Like you just hit the thing and it was just down the street. I'm whipping it around the house and I drive it right off the back deck. Broken in half.
Dang.
Never got one again.
Oh, man. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any like specific
Man, honestly, the one that like, there's probably like two gifts that stand out. But I did always love the feeling of like, yeah, you open up your gifts and then just like all day, you're just, you know, playing with whatever toys you got. It's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
I think the two gifts, like one that really stands out, I was probably like 12 and I got like the really nice like JBL like boombox, you know, and like boombox is kind of underselling it because, you know, like in the late 90s where it was like a stereo system, right? So you have the big, you know, piece in the middle with, you know, this 8 CD changer and all the knobs. And then you had like two big separate speakers with subwoofers and everything.
Yep.
I got one of those and I was pumped. And I would always remember my parents, and I would hear this for the next decade of my life, which was turn it down, turn it down, turn it. And I would never turn it down. I'd always just turn it up as loud as it would go. That was probably like one of the gifts that stands out. And then I got a keyboard, which I don't even think was like my idea. I don't even know if that was like what I wanted, but I think my parents knew that I liked music. And that was like sort of a direction that I was leaning into. And keyboards are cool because like, it's not just a piano. You can play all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
So they got me a keyboard one year. And I remember I thought that was really, really cool. It didn't stick. You know, I didn't continue playing much, but that was a cool gift too. So those kind of stand out. And I feel like that time in my life, I remember much better. Like I had a weird childhood, you know? So it's like thinking back, you try to just remember the good times, you know? Yeah. And those were like, that's kind of in that time period where you're like, yeah, dude, that was great, you know?
Yeah.
But that was probably the one like gift that kind of stands out where I was like super pumped as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the remote control Lamborghini was so pumped.
Yeah. Anything car related.
I also got a keyboard as a Christmas gift. I was convinced that I could learn how to play the keyboard and I wanted to be a musician, wanted to play in a band. So I had to start with the keyboard. And of course, you know, it could make beats and do all kind of other sounds and whatnot. I got a book of sheet music. I got lessons, didn't stick with it. Convinced my mom the next year is like, all right, now I want a guitar.
Yeah.
I want to play guitar. So we sold the keyboard and she got me a brand new Fender Stratocaster and an amplifier to go with it and some sheet music. And I got lessons. Didn't stick with it because the guitar is harder than playing the keys. And then she was like, okay, we're done with musical Christmas gifts because obviously you don't want to do this. So I went ahead after that. I was like, okay, well, if I can't play the guitar, can't play the keyboard, drums. But I asked her for a drum set. I was like, I want a electronic drum set. She didn't give me an electronic drum set. She was like, that was the last of the musical instruments.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of similar here. I got a bass guitar one year, and that was when I was probably like 15 or 16 at that point. I was in high school and got a guitar or a bass guitar. And then eventually I ended up like upgrading and getting a guitar as well. My brother was the drummer, which is funny because I always loved the drums, right? Even like today, I've got a half of a drum set in my basement right now. Always loved the drums. But yeah, I picked up bass and guitar. I ended up singing in a band, but was not to be,
Yeah.
Was destined to be a reindeer on a podcast.
That you beat me to it. Destined to be an off-duty reindeer on a podcast.
And here we are.
Here we are. Well, look, man, I'm looking forward to actual Christmas and then to New Year's after that. We're wrapping up 2026 with a bang. We have a lot to be thankful for. We made it this far. So I think, we're patting ourselves on the back a little bit. We've had a lot of fun doing the Vera House podcast and sharing all of these crazy stories and our experiences with you and people at home and people watching online. Stay tuned for more. We have a lot of really cool stuff coming up in 2026.
Yeah, we've had a lot of amazing people that have come up and said hello, that have recognized us from the podcast, given us ideas. Mm-hmm. So please, if you see us, feel free to share ideas with stories or things you're curious about or interested in.
Yeah.
We hope everybody has an amazing holiday, an amazing Christmas. We are grateful for each and every one of you. And just a quick note to let you know that Vera House is officially open for business. So what that means is, yes, we are a podcast, and you may see us dressed as reindeers today talking on a podcast, but we are inside of a fully outfitted podcast studio. So we have multiple sets similar to this one. So if you're a podcaster or aspiring podcaster, or somebody who needs to make content for your business, or somebody who is even interested in potentially being on this podcast, all you got to do is go to verahouse.co. You'll see a button there that says work with us. Click on that button, fill out the form. It'll give you some different options to see what you're interested in. And we look forward to catching up with you and connecting with you to see if we can make something happen. And in the meantime, have an amazing Christmas and Happy New Year.
This podcast was recorded at Vera House Studios in Richmond, Virginia, and produced by Perri Young and Myke Metzger.